coming. I prepared a small presentation, so maybe it's good to start a presentation with the announcement that we exist 50 years. So our 50 years anniversary is this year. And so Christian himself, Christian van der Klaauw, he started the company in 1974. And you can see here the picture that he is working on those old machines. Even when he worked on it, the machines were already old. But we still make components on those machines. So he was really focused on making wall clocks at the time. But always his specialty was astronomy. And in 1996, he created his first wristwatch. And in 1999, he made his first astronomical planetarium in a wristwatch. And when he retired, he sold the company to Daniel and Maria Reitjes, who did some beautiful things, including the collaboration with Van Cleef and Arpels for their planetarium. So the first one was in 2014, and the second was the Lady Arpel Planetarium, and this one was in 2018, won the prize of GPHG, the Geneva Grand Prix d'Horlogerie, which is like the Oscars of the watch industry. And that GPHG, that prize, was also given to the Eisenhower model planetarium of CVDK. So we won ourselves in 2021 this beautiful watchmaking prize. After 20 years of working in the watchmaking industry, I went back to my home country and to Holland, and I was very fortunate to be able to acquire Christian van der Klaauw. And so in that time, in 2024 was the beginning of this year, we introduced our own movement. We created in collaboration with Andreas Spreder, and so we introduced that one. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, we introduced our anniversary model, which I have on the wrist, Grand Planetarium Eccentric manufacture, and well, I will explain you later a little bit more about this new model. Also, we moved to a beautiful place, like 20 minutes from Amsterdam Airport, in the city of Naarden, and this beautiful building was built in 1688. Here we have a little museum. We exist 50 years, so beautiful products, heritage products. And we have our workshop as well. So there are 6 important things that you should know about Christian van der Klaauw. The first one is that we are the only atelier, the only workshop in the world that is focusing only on astronomy. And we make the smallest planetarium, mechanical planetarium in the world in a wristwatch. And this is really very specific. We have the orbits around the sun of 6 planets. Planet Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus, and Saturn. And our moon phase, the real moon hour, is the most precise 3D moon phase of the world. We have only a deviation of 1 day in 11,000 years. And then of course, Van Cleef and Arpels, very interesting that the most important jewelry maker of the world calls a tiny watchmaker, especially back at the time, to make their products, their movement. And then of course 2018, the Lady Arpels Planetarium won the GPHG Grand Prix d'Horlogerie de Genève. And Also very important to know is that we are a member of the Fondation de Haute Horlogerie. It's the foundation of the high-end watchmaking in Geneva, which is also, for example, Marc Piquet or Fashion Week, 65 brands are a member, and we were chosen one of the members as well. And then 2021, we won the GPHG ourselves. So Christian van der Klaw with this beautiful planetarium, IJzenga, which is based on the oldest planetarium of the world, which is based in Holland, in the northern part of Holland. IJzenga made, like 300 years ago, a planetarium in his living room, which is now World Heritage UNESCO. So very important. And this we created. Blue color of the ceiling of this planetarium will be painted with oil paint on the dial. And so in the history of Holland, astronomy and watchmaking, very, very important. And here we have a picture of Christian Huygens, which is the inventor of the balance wheel and the hairspring, which we have in all the Swiss watches today. And this invention was done 350 years ago. Well, 349, because next year it's the anniversary of this invention. But Christian Huygens was a scientist which is very all-round, and he brought already watchmaking and astronomy together. Because not only he invented the balance wheel and hairspring, but also he was an astronomer, and he discovered, for example, the rings of Saturn. And one of the biggest reasons why the scientists were focusing on astronomy and watchmaking was because with the navigation of the boats, we did a lot of business in Asia and other parts of the world, mostly Asia. And when you want to navigate a ship, you need two things. You need to know the position, your position, and that's according to the stars. So you need to know astronomy. And you need to know the timing. So you need watchmaking. And that's why they focus on those two things, mainly for navigating the ship. Yeah, so the orbits around the sun. You can see here the immense size of the sun, which the first planet is turning around in 88 days. Then, after Mercury, we have Venus, which is turning once in 222 days. So every planet, the much further from the sun, the slower it turns, or at least the longer one orbit takes. And of course we have Earth is turning once around the sun in exactly 1 year, because our calendar is based on this phenomenon. And then of course Mars, approximately 2 years, one orbit. And Jupiter, almost 12 years. Saturn, already 29.5 years. And then the two last ones, Uranus and Neptune. Uranus already is 84 years, one orbit, and Neptune makes one orbit in 164 years. And of course, we know that Earth, we have a moon. But what a lot of people don't know is that Mars, for example, have 2 moons. And Jupiter, even 94. So then, about watches, our collection, we have 3 different collections. And the first one is the masterpieces. Here we can see the Planetarium, the real moon hour with a 3D moon phase, and the real moon tides and also perpetual calendar. Then the collection of the stars. We have the Orion with a beautiful star sky underneath the dial. And then the chronograph Hypernova, the Ariadne, and the Stardust Lady. The collection I like the most personally is the collection of the Atelier, and this is really bespoke and unique pieces. Here you can see some of the bespoke pieces we made so far, and mostly based on astrology. For example, the Scorpio on your left side, but also very beautiful colors of meteorite and some very unique requests as well. Then our 50th anniversary model is the Grand Planetarium eccentric, and this is really a special piece. I would like to show you a small movie so you can understand already a little bit better. So the most complicated planetarium ever built in a wristwatch. This is what we presented a couple of weeks ago. So you can see that it contains the 8 planets of our solar system. So our complete solar system in a wristwatch. And not only that, but the orbits around the sun are eccentrical. And this has never been done before either. And the eccentricity is very difficult, because to make this happen, we have to cut up the dial into 9 pieces. And the planets are turning in between. So only to fix the dial, we need 22 screws. And you can see here some of the components that are underneath the dial. The planet rings, so the wheels where the planets are built up. And they're all painted by hand, those planets. So, for example, the planet Earth is only 1.2 millimeter in diameter, but it's painted by hand and it contains the oceans, continents, and the North Pole. And you can see it contains very big wheels. And all the teeth of those wheels together are more than 3,300 teeth to make this gear train work. Another very important piece that we introduced lately, more precisely yesterday, in Nagoya, is the City Science Museum model of Nagoya. And this is a limited edition of 6 pieces only, and we donated the first, so number 0, to the Nagoya City Science Museum. This beautiful watch has the dial inspired on the globe, the building of the Nagoya City Science Museum. And we recreated this globe on the dial that is made out of solid silver. This solid silver dial is fully hand engraved by the master engraver cal.Bar. And you can see that he adjusted all the small details he created by a chisel and a hammer. So I would like to thank you very much for your attention, and I invite you to look around and to see beautiful watches that Christian Astronomical Watches makes. And if you have some questions, please feel free to ask me or somebody else of Mitsukoshi or Shaman. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Wow, I have so much nice memories in Japan. It's really amazing. Hard to pick one. but I think personally I love the trees and the flowers and everything, and that's really something very memorable, and that's what I like. If I come here every time, it's beautiful nature. That's the first thing if I think about Japan. And second of all, and that's more business related, people are so respectful and really enjoy fine watchmaking into all the details. And that's why I love personally as well as a watchmaker. For watchmaker, details are the most important thing, and that's why I love about the Japanese people, that we can share this passion for perfection. If I can choose one project, it will definitely be something related to astronomy, because before acquiring Christian astronomical watches, I was watchmaking. And of course, I mean, you have a lot of tasks, technical director, CEO, etc. But watchmaker was my core passion. And now with Christian van der Klaw, it's not only watchmaking, but also astronomy. And astronomy is the base of watchmaking, because astronomy is, I mean, the orbit of planet Earth around the sun is the base of our calendar and of our timekeeping. And that's the rhythm that we follow if we want to measure time. So this is the base of watchmaking, and that's what I like to explore more, because it's not only that rhythm, but all our universe is based on rhythms of planets, stars, etc. And if I could have one focus, it will be exploring more of this rhythm, so I can try to explain to the world how this works through watches. And this particular task really inspires me. If I could do only this, then I would really be able to focus, and it gives me so much energy. Because that's at the end, that's what it is. Huh? It's the energy of the universe that gives me energy, and I hope to transfer it to our customers. During my childhood, I was always like a kid that wanted to invent things. I never thought any day I would be able to make it my profession. I definitely did not think about that, but when I was young, I was trying to, for example, I had a little car, a radio controlled car, and I love those things because you want to know how it works, etc. And then one day I decided to maybe it could be a boat as well. So I disassembled everything and I created a boat instead of a car out of that thing. And that's always a little bit what I do with watchmaking as well. It's like you think, okay, what can I make and how can I do it? And this technical drive, this technical search is always there. And now with astronomy, it's even more present. But because it's a quest of how you can make a cycle of planets and orbits and all those things, and how can you fit this in a watch that is so small and so mechanical driven. And when I was a little bit older, like when I started the watchmaking school as well, I was really also, you know, when you're young, you have to go out a little bit and spend a little money on things and on study as well. And there I already started to renovate clocks. So I called everybody that I knew that had an old clock in their living room, and said, yeah, well, maybe we can redo and renovate a little bit and make the dials look better, more refreshed. And that's how I started business a little bit. Yeah, indeed. Right now, my function is called CEO, but of course you try to do everything. But fortunately, I have a very good and very passionate team around me. So, of course, I know what I want to achieve from greater goal, but I could never do it without the team in Holland. We have a team of very good watchmakers, and of course, office marketing. Everybody is really good, and so maybe if I have to give another name, it is more like giving guidance to the team, but it's definitely should not call it CEO. It's more team member, I guess. So in the future, and this could be near future or a little bit longer, I think it is important for me to, because now my work is really focused on the passion for astronomy and watchmaking, and I would love, I don't know if they want it, but for my kids to be involved. I have 3 kids, and they all have very different and very good qualities. One is more creative, the other one is more technical, and the other one is more commercial, and this, I think, would be my greatest achievement. It's no pressure for them. If they want to do something else, it's also fine. Don't worry. But I love to bring them into the world of watchmaking, and I love to share my passion. Definitely to the people I love. So that's, I think, my main thing. If I could achieve that it would make me really happy. I really enjoyed again to be here in Japan, and I've been in Nagoya yesterday and today in Tokyo, and every time I feel so welcome. So thank you everybody in Japan. I think you really okay. Let's do it again. Sorry. Take two. Thanks a lot, everybody, for a warm welcome here in Japan. I've been to Nagoya yesterday and today here in Tokyo, and it feels great. Thank you so much for your support, and see you next year.